I actually qualified for like a huge house.
For a person in your position where you can do that. And I see a lot of really successful entrepreneurs using their house for masterminds for their studio, because then you can, expense a lot of it.
Yeah. I'll be able to write off more than 50% of the house, I think.
Yeah.
Which
so
is
I think
crazy.
it makes sense at that point. If you're someone starting off and you're looking to create cash flow, I don't recommend buying
Definitely
a house
not.
for you to personally live in.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. All right, guys, we got Colin Wright here from Miami. We're going to talk Airbnb today.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good, man. I didn't know it was still thriving, to be honest, because there was a big boom a few years ago.
Yeah, there's definitely a big boom and it's still thriving. There's just a little bit of negativity around it because people that are inexperienced are getting in the business, kind of not knowing what they're doing, and then they're getting right back out of it. So that's where you're seeing a bit of that. There are lots and lots of people that are thriving in the business.
Yeah.
Though.
And I think it's gotten more competitive too. So it's
Definitely
not as easy.
a little bit more competitive. You can't get away with just, throwing in some crappy IKEA furniture, taking cell phone pictures anymore. Like, you've got to do proper staging. You've got to spend a bit of money on furniture, and you've got to run the business properly. It's a hospitality business at the end of the day, and you have to make sure that people are happy. You're getting the 5-star reviews, and that's how you succeed.
Absolutely. Certain cities are strict on it. Vegas is pretty strict.
Definitely. I do know a lot of people that have units here in Vegas. Restrictions can be worked around a lot of the time. Usually those restrictions are just put in place to appease, like the Karens that are going to be calling on the Airbnb units. Let's be real. A lot of cities do have a permitting process, so you can go the legal route. But then again, a lot of cities, they don't enforce the restrictions.
Yeah.
So you can still operate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when did you get into this? How many units do you have now?
I got into this about a year and a half ago today.
Oh, so pretty new.
Yeah, not long. September 2022, I did my first mentorship, and I got my first unit by January of 2023.
Okay.
As of today, currently, I have 40 live, and I have another 26 signed over the next 2 months. So it'll be about 65, 66 within 8 weeks.
And these are all in Miami?
Not all in Miami. I only have 6 in Miami. Majority are in Texas.
Oh, so you're not even
I
hands
just
on.
moved to Miami. So I'm just getting started in that market. But originally we planned to move to Texas, and I liked the market for Airbnb there. So I started scaling there.
Got it. And are you able to do this remotely, like not hands on, you think?
Yeah, for sure. I'm originally from Canada. So I started sourcing the units in Texas while I was in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I ended up going down to Texas to set up my first 7 homes. And then since then, I haven't really been back. I built my team there. I've been living in Florida while still expanding in Texas.
Yeah. And what's the risk mitigation strategy? Because like some people watching this might not have a ton of money to invest in this.
Yeah, it's probably one of the least riskiest real estate investments you can do, because there's not a lot of upfront capital. It's mostly just your furniture. That's your big expense, right? So you're leasing the property. So you're safe. I'm sure you've heard some horror stories of people that have purchased Airbnbs, and then cities have brought in restrictions, and then they don't know what to do. They have to sell their home, take a big hit. They can't operate anymore. With a lease, you simply just walk away, right? You're not going to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. If a city brings in restrictions, you move that furniture to a different Airbnb. You lease another property in another city. You're not out, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right. So you're getting a lease. So you're only putting down a couple months of rent.
Yes.
And then
I'm doing rental arbitrage, and I'm actually getting free rent most of the time too. That's what makes the deals even that more insane.
So how does that work?
I basically go in, negotiate with the landlord or property manager, tell them I want to take multiple units. I usually ask for 8 weeks free. I'll settle for 4 weeks. But if I can get deals with 8 weeks free rent, I can essentially get my entire investment back within 8 to 12 weeks.
I never even knew you could ask for that.
Yeah. Well, there's so many vacancies. So if you're going into cities that, an apartment complex has 20, 30 units, they're going to say, here, sure, take 10. I'll give you 8 weeks free.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you're just finding their contact on Zillow and then setting up an in-person meeting.
Zillow, apartments.com, hotpads, realtor.com, anywhere, even Facebook Marketplace. I found some great deals on there.
People list their houses?
Single family landlords.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Find anything on there. People buy cars on there too.
Everything. Yeah.
Speaking of cars, you're into cars, specifically purple cars.
I love cars. Yeah, the purple car thing is kind of new. I happened to buy a purple Huracan STO, and that kind of started the trend. I had a purple SVJ offered to me not long after that, and I was like, well, it just makes sense to go full purple now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And are you doing the same strategy where you're asking for a couple weeks for free?
Yeah. No. I wish. Yeah. Unfortunately, nothing with the cars comes free.
Yeah. But are you financing, leasing? How does that
Yeah,
work?
leasing, definitely.
Okay.
I try to put down as little money as possible. I'd rather keep instead of like a lot of people say to me, well, if you have the money, like, why don't you just pay the car off?
Yeah.
Because I use that capital, instead of paying the car off, I go invest it into products like Airbnb.
Right.
And that makes me more returns than higher returns, I should say, than what the interest on the lease is.
Yeah. I think it depends on your financial situation.
For sure.
But for you, leasing probably makes more sense.
Yeah, and there's lots of opportunities with write-offs and to put the cars through the business and stuff like that too. So leasing makes the most sense.
So you could write it off, because I thought it had to be over 6,000 pounds.
It depends. Like, I'm using the cars for marketing and branding too, right? So I have that. I'm not necessarily using them to drive around as a company vehicle.
Yeah. So I might have to buy a digital social hour Lambo
Yes,
then.
wrap it blue with your logo on it and stuff, and then you can use it as a write-off.
Damn, it's that simple?
I'm pretty sure.
is not legal advice, guys.
I'm Canadian, right? So I'm not too familiar with the U.S. tax code. I'm learning as I go.
It's probably different over there.
It's a little bit different, yeah. But from what I understand, that there's more opportunity in the U.S. when it comes to like branding and building yourself up,
Yeah.
and even using things like watches in a lot of your content. I think if you're using it more, like on an everyday basis, I think that it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to go with the 6,000 pound rule. I think that's more for like businesses.
Yeah. I've seen people write off watches, actually.
Yeah.
Like $100,000
Even
watches.
I was told, even like if you're putting every time you go to a restaurant, if you're putting on your Instagram and showing your food and stuff like that.
Oh, that's it?
I'm
Holy
pretty sure
crap.
like
I do that
there's
anyways.
levels to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally do that anyways. So
Yeah,
I need
I'm
to
curious
talk to my
because
accountant.
like I haven't I've only done like one tax year since I started this Airbnb business, but now I'm starting to invest into things here in the US, and obviously looking for write-offs wherever you can to expend some of that income that I'm generating from Airbnb.
Yeah. So did you move to the US full time, or are you still
full time.
ditched Canada?
Yes. Yeah.
You like it
I
better
don't
here?
plan on going back for a while.
I've heard some wild things lately about Canada.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into that. There's a lot going on. I'm getting feedback from both sides. Like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's worse over here. I want to go to Canada." Like, there's people here that want to go, and
Really?
a lot of people I know from Canada are coming here. Like, I think in the end, I think it's bad in both countries right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's
No doubt.
It's tough. Times are tough. But I think at the end of the day, I just wanted a change of scenery, and so many winters in Canada. I was getting tired of that and wanted to change up and have nice weather, majority of the year, right? That was the biggest decision for us.
Yeah. Is Airbnb popular in Canada too?
It is, yeah, but the USA is definitely a better market. Yeah, there's
so?
more vacancies, there's more tourism, there's more people, right? In Canada, we only have like 35, 37 million people last I checked, right? So Texas has as many people as all of Canada.
Damn.
Right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's a lot more opportunity for business. I think people in the US are a lot more business friendly, a lot more entrepreneur, minded. So it's definitely easier to run that business in the US.
Have you run financial comparisons to other real estate investment opportunities like Section 8?
I'm not overly familiar with Section 8, but that's more of a long-term investment. Like, you're buying the property, you're probably putting down a little bit more cash, and in the long run, you're going to have that asset that's appreciating. Airbnb arbitrage, a little bit less, capital intensive at the beginning, and it produces more cash flow, right? Because you're taking advantage of the short-term rental market. There's always going to be more cash with short-term rentals versus long-term rentals.
Yeah. Cash flow is really good to have, because then you could get loans, lines of credit.
That's it, right? That's the starting point. You got to create the cash flow and then use that cash flow to build the long-term assets.
Yeah. Like, I was really worried about buying a house, because as entrepreneurs, you want to write off everything, right?
sure.
And to qualify for a big house with salary is kind of hard as an entrepreneur.
And you've talked to Grant Cardone about this,
Right.
no? Like, you've seen his stance on buying your own home, like to live in.
That was definitely in the back of my head when I was buying.
Yeah, for sure, right? Like, I've always owned my own home up until this year.
Yeah.
And I finally said, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm investing, because I had to put down a big chunk of money on my own home.
Yeah.
And then I'm paying property tax, mortgage, all these, unrecoverable costs when I can just invest the money that I have in that house into, things like
Cash flowing
Airbnb
assets,
and other things, and that cash flow pays for me to rent
Yeah.
and then some. So I'm not out of pocket to live. Where when you own your own home, you're out of pocket every month to live.
Especially if that's a majority of your net worth. That's
Yes.
where I think the big problem is, because most families, that is a majority of their net worth. So
And you're
that's
banking on that long-term appreciation, right? That's the old school mindset, is like, go to college and then buy a house, pay down your mortgage until it's paid off, and then use it for retirement.
Yeah.
Right? Where the younger mindset, and I think people that are, becoming more wealthy, they're leveraging everything they can. They're leveraging their real estate. They're not paying down their mortgage. They're taking money from it every time they can, because they're using that debt to invest into other businesses.
Right.
Right.
And that was my mindset buying the house, going back to cash flow.
Yep.
So I couldn't qualify for like a good house, honestly, with my salary, because
Yeah.
I write off a lot. But the cash flow, dude, since that was decent, I actually qualified for like a huge house.
Yeah.
And now I can build out a studio in there, use the
Yes.
backyard for masterminds.
It makes
So-
sense in like for a person in your position where you can do that. And I see a lot of really successful entrepreneurs using their house for masterminds, for their studio, because then you can,
Write it off.
expense a lot of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll be able to write off more than 50% of the house, I think.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
I think it
crazy.
makes sense at that point, right?
Yeah.
It
Plus
all
the
depends on
safety and
everyone's
family aspect.
For sure. It just depends on your situation, right?
Yeah.
If you're someone starting off and you're looking to create cash flow, I don't recommend buying
Definitely
a house
not.
for you to personally live in, right?
That's why I rented for the past 7 years, because
Yeah.
I was still in that stage.
Yeah.
And now I'm comfortable enough to like,
And I
get
think
to
in the
next level.
US, you guys have a great product, like what's it called, a FHA loan?
Yeah, the first house is 5% down, I believe.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
even
you can
use
get
that,
up to
but-
a four unit
Oh, really?
with that loan. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure, right? So a lot of guys starting out, I would recommend even going into a product like that where they can live in one unit, short-term rent some of the other units, or even long-term to cover their expenses, and then they're not out of pocket, and they still get that long-term appreciation too.
Yeah. I want to dive into the health side of things. So you got quite a journey. You said you're down like 40 pounds.
Yeah, 55 actually.
55?
Yeah, I was down 60. I put back on 20.
Vegas will do that
And
to
now
you.
I'm back. Yeah, the food, man. It's so hard sometimes. But yeah, I'm down a total of 55 right now since
In a
last
year?
year. Yeah.
Since last year.
Yeah.
And was that majority diet?
Yeah, intermittent fasting, pretty much exercising. I didn't exercise actually for the first 40 or so pounds. I was just switching my diet to intermittent fasting, going from snacking and basically eating crappy food to 2 meals a day.
Okay.
Yeah, in an 8-hour window. And that's how I lost majority of my weight. And then when I got down about 40 pounds, I started exercising. And now I'm going to the gym daily, starting to put on some muscle. So the scale's not moving down as quickly as I thought,
Yeah.
but I can see the changes in the fat coming off.
Nice.
Right?
And have you
Yeah.
seen that affect your mental performance?
Oh, for sure, 100%. Everything that I'm doing right now, I'm performing a lot better in. Business is getting a lot better. I'm making a lot more money since I started taking my health seriously.
Yeah, there's a correlation, I think.
Oh, for sure. Just the confidence level, you're feeling better. You look in the mirror, you're more confident. It comes out, whether you don't even necessarily think about it, right? It just starts to happen naturally.
Yeah, there's a good balance. Some people take it too far
Yeah.
and they're too into health and
Yes.
then they lose money. So
Yeah.
you got to find that balance for you.
I definitely have a healthy balance. I like to enjoy life, but it's like you said, it's like finding that healthy balance, right?
Yeah.
Like not eating like crap all the time, but as long as you're exercising, I think you can pretty much get away with whatever you want within reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Calorie in, calorie out.
Yes,
Just remember
exactly.
that, yeah.
Yep.
I saw you eat a burger with Big Mike.
Yes. Yeah, it was really good.
Where was it?
That was at their pop-up shop in Miami.
Oh, okay. So he
Yeah.
made the burger?
Not him, his team. He was just there saying hi and doing,
Got it. I saw him announce he was starting a burger company, right?
I think it's 10 out of 10 burgers.
Okay. I got to
Yeah.
try it because he's
was
traveled
really
the world
good.
eating burgers and
Yeah.
just came up with his own recipe now, right?
Yeah, it was good. I got to say. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
worth
pretty
a try.
strict on burgers, man.
Yeah.
What's your favorite burger chain in America?
Ooh. I'm not overly a big burger guy.
Oh, you're not?
I'm a pizza guy, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pizza, yeah, that's tough because that's not really a chain thing.
Yeah. I
There's a
haven't had
good
too
spot
many
in
burgers
Miami.
since I got to Florida. I've been to Miami Slice, if that's what you're talking about.
That's good. That's in Vegas too.
Yeah. I've heard
They're
about
my
it.
favorite spot in Vegas, but I got the best spot in Miami for people watching this for pizza.
What is it?
Mr. O1.
Mr. O1.
It's better than any pizza I've had
I'm gonna have to try it.
ever.
Have to
Even
go
better
against
than
my
New
diet.
York pizza, dude. Oh my God. Get the stracciatelle one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love pizza, man. It's like,
Are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? We'll click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
it's the one thing I can't replace. Like,
Same.
it's like I have to have it every once or two
Same,
weeks,
dude.
1 or
And
2 weeks.
I hate eating carbs now because it
Yeah.
just messes up my day, honestly.
Yeah.
But
So I was like that for a long time. I did keto as well with the intermittent fasting, like within reason. Like I would probably do keto for like 2-3 weeks and then I'd have a pizza and I'd ruin it. But mostly stayed low carb that whole time. I noticed the increase of energy. But what I've been doing recently instead of intermittent fasting is I've been doing like the pre-made meals, like 400 or 500
Meal prep.
calories.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been eating more meals, but smaller meals.
interesting.
Still kind of intermittent fasting, like 12 to 14 hours a day, not as long as before, but I find that I have more energy and I'm feeling better with the carbs, but eating smaller meals.
I could see that.
Yeah. I try to stay away from like sugars and stuff, like bad sugars.
Same.
But yeah, just that's been working well for me lately, especially trying to put on like muscle and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw you married your high school sweetheart. That's not pretty
Yes.
common anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. Yeah, we've been together for quite some time, and I owe a lot of my success to her as well. Yep.
Yeah, because you guys are business partners too. So not only did you do that, but you're doing business with her, which is also another rare thing to pull off.
For sure.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
she's definitely. We work well together. You know, where I kind of lack, she's kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Supplements,
Yeah, like we have.
yin and yang.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah.
You know, where I lack in certain areas, she prospers, right? So we kind of, you know, can join together and we split tasks based on our strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, I'm the same way with mine. We met in college.
Yeah.
But I love being like the face of things.
Yeah.
And putting my reputation on the line. And she's more behind the scenes. She
Yeah.
doesn't want that pressure.
That's kind of like us too.
Yeah. But I work amazing under pressure. So.
Yeah. I feel like that's almost the exact same as us, and she's more of like you said, behind the scenes, you know, doing the computer stuff, making sure like I'm going to, you know, not missing meetings and stuff like that. More like
Yeah.
the scheduling. That's like kind of where I suffer.
Yeah. Yeah. The organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
very similar in that regard. What's the next supercar for you?
Ooh, I don't know at this point. Like the SVJ was a dream of mine, and yeah, I accomplished that not too long ago. And I know everyone talks about Bugattis and stuff like that, but I honestly, I don't even I don't even have that dream yet for a Bugatti
Yeah.
or something like that. SVJ was kind of like the top of where I was dreaming, so I'm not really sure. I think I'm gonna be happy with that for the next few years at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
Yeah. Bugattis are like $1 million, right?
Oh, the ones that the guys are buying now are like 4 or 5.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
That's
I
more
don't
than a
even think-
mansion.
yeah, like the SVJs are up there. They're about $1 million now. Yeah,
Yeah, when it comes to that point, I'd rather
Yeah.
have like a mansion or
yeah. I did that already. I had a big house. I had a basketball court.
Oh, yeah?
Putting green, pool, all that stuff. I built all that before I decided to do Airbnb. We were in our pool in September in Toronto, and it was cold.
Mm-hmm.
And that was me and my wife looked at each other. We're like, do you want to move to Texas? What are we doing here anymore?
Yeah.
Both of our businesses are like online, and we can do our investments passively. I was flipping homes and stuff like that. So I was like, we can do this from anywhere in the world. Like, why are we staying here? Like,
Right.
let's go somewhere warmer. So it was basically Florida, Texas, or Arizona was on our list.
nice.
Yeah.
I think you'll like Miami.
We do. And I even, like, we've only been there for 6 months, but I've already made so many amazing connections. Like
Yeah.
the networking there,
insane.
the car scene, there's so much money there. Everyone's hustling. Like, we really enjoy it. And we actually had a few of our friends relocate from Canada to there
Nice.
as well. So that kind of pushed us from Texas over to Miami. It was like, well, let's go see how we like it there first, because we know some people already.
Yeah.
right?
Texas is a slower vibe, right?
It's definitely a lot slower. It has a lot of pros as well, but Miami just outweighed, in the pro category for us right now where our life is.
Yeah. Miami for me, the cons are scams and weather.
Yeah.
But other than that, the networking's great. Good
Yeah.
young energy. Food is great.
Yeah.
You're close to fly to other countries.
That was a big thing for us too. We love to cruise. So,
I'm going on one out of Miami next month.
Yeah, it's the easiest to cruise out of. Like you said, you can fly to everywhere out of it. It's very easy. It's affordable.
Yeah.
Our family's coming from Toronto too, so it's a lot cheaper from Florida to Toronto versus Toronto to Texas.
Yeah. What's the best cruise line in your opinion?
I've done Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and MSC, and we like Carnival, the newer Carnival ship. Carnival has a very bad rep, but
that's what I thought. Yeah.
We love the Celebration. It's an amazing ship. It's newer, and Royal Caribbean's great too. We've done Wonder of the Seas. We're gonna do Icon of the Seas soon as well. The big boat that they got. But yeah, they're both good.
I would have never expected Carnival.
Neither would I.
But
I think the bad rep is from the cheaper boats. Like the older boats.
So they have levels of...
Yeah, the Celebration is their newest boat. And the newest boats are always going to be the most expensive of any cruise line, right? Because they have the newest amenities, the newest restaurants.
Yeah, I'll send you a site that gets you 90% off cruises, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah. You got to wait, though. So it only pops up like a couple weeks before.
Yeah.
So if you're flexible, it works.
So I actually don't pay for my cruises.
Really?
Yeah, and Carnival gives great offers. All you got to do is gamble a little bit.
Whoa. So you kind of pay in a way.
You do pay in a way, but you can win. There's lots of ones that I went on where I've left with money and still get free cruise offers.
So if you go on a cruise and gamble, how much do you have to gamble to get offered a free cruise?
Every cruise line is different, and they work on a point system. So someone actually told us about this on one of our cruises not too long ago, and then we started to get offers. So Carnival, I usually bring like $2,000-3,000 with me.
Oh, that's it?
Each, yeah. And depending, it doesn't matter if you lose it or you leave with money, you still rack up the points. And that's how the system works, right?
Holy crap.
So they offer me free balcony rooms, $500 free play, free drinks throughout the whole ship for the whole.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they're good offers.
I'm gonna see if my cruise on Virgin coming up has a casino. If they do, I'll bring a couple thousand.
Yeah. Because once you establish with the cruise line, like they just send offers like crazy to get you back.
You can also status hack in Vegas. So if you have like a good card here, you could status match, and then Carnival will offer you a free cruise.
Yep.
And then there's the status matching game is
That's
nuts.
what I did too originally, because we cruised with Royal for the first couple times, and I sent them my play to Carnival.
Smart.
And then they gave me some offers.
Yeah. No, people sleep on status matching. I've done it with airlines, with hotels.
Yeah.
I get the highest status right away without spending any money.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a site that tells you like what status matches you could pull off. Like if you have an Amex Platinum, you can status match with hotels.
Huh. Yeah, that's good to know.
I'm all about travel hacks, man.
Yeah, I have so many Amex points, but I don't know how to use them.
Dude, so you could get 5x on that. Isn't that crazy?
How would I go about doing that?
So you transfer it to a specific airline, and they'll likely have a deal at least once a year where you could do 5x points on that.
Yeah.
So I'm flying to Egypt this year, and someone told me how to do it, and it saved me like 5 Gs.
So I heard using it for like far trips like Dubai, Egypt and stuff, that's where you maximize the points.
Exactly.
When you get the first class or whatnot of the business.
Yeah, you got to see if the airline has an offer, and then if they do, you just transfer it to the airline's website.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah,
and you can buy
status. How to do it, because like I've just been racking them up and I want to spend them.
No, I was such an idiot. I spent 1 million Amex points on a Cancun all-inclusive vacation. And that was probably the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah, I was going to say, because that can probably get you like 10 Dubai flights.
I know. Like it was such a waste. Whenever I tell credit hackers that story, they cringe.
Oh, yeah. It takes a while to build up 1 million points, too.
But you could also buy United 1K status on Cobalt for like $400.
Really?
Yeah. So I buy that, skip all the lines. I board first. And then you can match the 1K status to every other airline.
Okay. I'm going to have to hit you up. On,
I'll send you the site. That. I'll link it below. It's a little travel hack for people watching this.
Sure. It's always good to know.
Yeah. What are you working on next, man?
Just continuing to grow the Airbnbs. I've gotten into mentorship as well. So I got 35 students, I think, at this point. Built out a coaching program. Probably one of the best Airbnb courses, I think, that's on the net, because I had a few mentors. So I learned, even being in real estate for 15 years, I still hired a mentor prior to going into Airbnb, two of them actually. And I did a couple masterminds as well. So I'm always learning, but I do think that, the course I've created and my students are having some quick success already with it. I think it's probably one of the better products that you can get. Yeah,
that's cool that you have that mindset, because it probably saved you a ton of time and money to pay a mentor.
That's the thing. That's where mentors come in handy. Is they've already went through the mistakes. They've got years of knowledge that you're inheriting. In a quick time frame. So that's why I was able to go from 1 unit to 30 units within 6 months and scale from 0 to 100,000. In a state that I've never even been in before. Well, I was in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So that comes down to mentorship, because there's lots of free information out there online that you can learn. But the problem I see with people is they don't know how to implement it. They don't know, you can go on YouTube and find all the information, but it's like, how do you go step by step to get to the end goal, right? And with a mentor, you can always text them, call them, answer your questions. Like I'm building out a community, kind of like what you have on WhatsApp. And I think you got Discord and stuff now.
I used to have Discord. Oh, Telegram for the crypto one. Yeah.
So I'm building that out for Airbnb, but I'm using Circle.
Yeah, there's something powerful when you have a group of guys just all with the same mission.
For sure.
I mean, you just learn so fast.
And I've always learned that way through my mentors communities as well too, because I go in there and I see what problems other students are having, how they're solving them, if this deal's available or this person's going to this conference. And I've networked with so many different people, and deals have come from that.
Yeah, so many deals.
Yeah.
I mean, I get offered them daily.
Yeah.
Now it's the point where, like, if I want to take it or not.
Yeah, for sure.
But 10% a year isn't enough for me anymore, to be honest.
No.
I used to have that mindset of, I want to get 10% every year. But when you factor in taxes, inflation, and everything, it's actually like 4% a year.
It's terrible, yeah. I was doing private lending for the longest time, and I was getting 15%. And I was really happy with that for a long time.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, no, need at least 50.
Yeah. So guys you're lending it to are making 50%.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I say for people watching this, at least 20 is what they should aim for.
For sure. And Airbnb arbitrage is, anywhere from 50 to 100% in year one.
That's pretty crazy.
Yep.
So you could be profitable in the first year?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because there's
profitable in months.
The furniture, where are you buying that?
Mostly Amazon, Wayfair. I try to stay away from IKEA. Wayfair has a lot of good products, and Amazon has a lot of good furniture now too. And a lot of stuff you can get from Amazon really quick, which is nice too. If a package gets stolen or something happens, they reimburse you. There's a lot of great benefits by using Amazon. Yeah.
And here's another furniture hack. So my friend Jason Wong owns a sourcing company.
Yeah.
So you send him any photo of a furniture on someone's site, say it's $5,000.
Yeah.
He'll source it for you in China for like 1,000.
That's
maybe.
amazing.
Yeah. So I just bought a new house, so I'm going to use them and save like 80 G's on furniture.
There's a site like that called, is it Home Area or something?
I haven't heard of that one.
It's like that, like executives, like that really luxury furniture. But I heard that they get it from China, and it's not like what it is in the pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully your guy, it's like you're getting like quality stuff.
They're getting their furniture from China, so you're just going to the source.
Yeah.
These furniture companies are marking it up 300 to 500%.
That makes sense.
So they're selling a $5,000 couch when they make it for like 500.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, so rather just go to the source.
Yeah.
But I understand why you'd buy on Amazon, because a customer refund would be easier.
Yeah, and it's just so easy, right? Even Wayfair is almost as good as Amazon.
Yeah.
But usually a lot of the furniture's in stock. It comes quickly. If there's any issues with stuff being damaged or not showing up, you get refunded. You get a new product.
From China, there's more risk. It takes weeks, and then it might be damaged.
Who wants to go to a store anymore and stand in line, and they've got 2 employees, and then they don't know what they're doing, and
I'll go there just to test like the comfort, but that's it. I will never buy from a store
unless I need something like that day.
Yeah,
like I'll run to I don't know if you heard of a chain called Burlington.
I have.
They have like
Coat Factory, right?
Yeah, I go there for like artwork and plants for my Airbnbs because it's very cheap. You can get like big pieces of wall art for like $30-$40.
Damn, that's good to know.
And the fake plants, little like decor items, that's the spot to go. If you have Burlington,
I thought they sold coats, man.
Hobby Lobby, like stuff like little thrift style
There's a Hobby
stores.
Lobby out here.
Yeah.
I went once. It was super cheap. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, because if you try to buy like artwork and stuff and plants on Amazon, you're going to spend too much.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the shipping probably, right?
Shipping, and it's just way more expensive. Like for little pieces of art, like $100, fake plant, 80, 120 bucks. Like it's too much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you got to try to save somewhere.
Yeah. Right? Dude, it was a blast. We'll link all your stuff below. Anything else you want to close off with?
Yeah, I just I got my free ebook that we just finished. So if anyone's thinking about getting into Airbnb arbitrage and you want a step-by-step guide, I've basically put it all out there for free. And you can comment ebook below if you want to get a copy of it.
Awesome. We'll link below. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As always, see you tomorrow.